The atmosphere in the executive wing changes the moment Jimin saunters in at 9:30 a.m., 90 minutes late, carrying 3 iced coffees and wearing a silk shirt, unbuttoned, just one loop too many. Jungkook is already at the glass conference table, his jaw tight as he stares at his watch. Beside him sits Yoongi the head of finance and Jungkook's oldest friend, who is currently leaning back with his feet on a designer ottoman, looking like he hasn't moved since 2024. Morning, Grump Tower, Jimin chirps, sliding a coffee toward Jungkook with a wink that could light up the entire Seoul skyline. He doesn't sit in his designated chair. Instead, he hops onto the edge of Jungkook's desk, swinging his legs. And one for the only man in this building who actually knows how to relax. Yoongi Hyung, you look like you need caffeine and a nap. Yoongi cracks an eye open, a slow smirk spreading across his face. Finally, someone with taste. I was about to die of boredom listening to Jiyeon explain the quarterly projections for the 5th time. He's such a bore, right? Jimin giggles, leaning over to mess with Yoongi's hair. Dad's in Singapore. The sun is shining, and manager Jiyeon over here is acting like the world is ending because I missed a morning briefing. Jungkook's pen snaps in his hand. The sharp crack echoes through the office. Jimin, get off the desk, Jungkook says, his voice vibrating with a low, dangerous frequency. And Yoongi, if you're finished undermining my authority, maybe you could actually finish the audit I asked for 3 hours ago. Yoongi just chuckles, taking a long sip of his coffee. Relax, Kook. The kid's right. The CEO is gone. The cat's away. The mice are going to play. Besides, Jimin was just telling me about that new club opening in Hongdae. He thinks we should go tonight. A club. Jungkook stands up slowly, his shadow looming over the desk. He ignores Yoongi entirely, his dark eyes locking onto Jimin, who is currently busy taking a selfie, using the reflection in Jungkook's computer monitor. You have 3 spreadsheets to finish. Jimin, you aren't going to a club. Jimin pouts, sticking his lower lip out in a way that is devastatingly cute and entirely manipulative. He slides off the desk, but instead of going to a seat, he wanders behind Yoongi, resting his chin on the elder's shoulder. See, Hyung, he's so mean to me. Jimin whines, his eyes sparkling with mischief. Maybe I should just promote you to manager and demote him too. I don't know, my personal driver. He looks good in a suit, at least. Yoongi laughs, a genuine gummy smile. I'd take the promotion. First order of business. Nap pods in every department. Jimin, now. Jungkook's voice is a whip. He's reaching his limit, seeing Jimin's playful, playboy energy directed at someone else. Even his best friend is making the possessive monster in his chest claw for the surface. Jungkook stalks over, grabbing Jimin's arm firmly, but careful not to hurt him, and pulling him away from Yoongi. Yoongi, get out. Finish the audit in your own office. Jungkook commands, without looking back. Yoongi stands up, stretching lazily. He tosses a wink at Jimin. Good luck, kid. Try not to let him bite you too hard. He gets cranky when he's jealous. I am not jealous. Jungkook growls as the door clicks shut the moment they are alone. The playful air vanishes. Jungkook spins Jimin around, pinning him against the closed door. Jimin's playboy smirk is still there, but his breath is hitching, his heart hammering against his ribs as he looks up at the sheer intensity in Jungkook's eyes. You think this is a joke? Jungkook whispers, his hand sliding up to cup Jimin's throat, his thumb pressing just enough to make Jimin moan. You think you can come in here, ignore my rules, and flirt with Yoongi right in front of me? Jimin's eyes flutter, his cute act melting into something far more needy. Maybe I just wanted to see if I could make the great manager Jiyeon lose his cool. Mission accomplished, Jungkook rasps, his face inches from Jimin's. Now, since you're so fond of playing, let's see how much fun you have when I decide exactly how you're going to spend the rest of the day. Jungkook's grip on Jimin's waist tightens, pulling him flush against the expensive wood of the door. The playboy bravado that Jimin had used to charm Yoongi just minutes ago is flickering like a dying candle, replaced by a wide-eyed, breathless anticipation. You like having an audience, don't you? Jungkook murmurs, his breath hot against Jimin's cheek. You like seeing how far you can push me before I snap. Jimin lets out a shaky, melodic laugh, trying to regain his footing. He reaches up, his fingers tracing the sharp line of Jungkook's jaw. Maybe I just think you look better when you're angry, Manager Jiyeon. All that professional stoicism is so boring. Jungkook's eyes darken. He doesn't find it funny. He reaches back, grabbing a pair of high-end noise-canceling headphones from the side table and sliding them over Jimin's ears. He hits a button on his phone, and suddenly the room is filled with nothing but heavy, driving bass, drowning out everything else. Jimin's eyes go wide. He can see Jungkook's lips moving, but he can't hear a word. The sensory deprivation makes his skin 10 times more sensitive. He's trapped in a world of rhythm and Jungkook's touch. Jungkook points toward the executive desk. His expression is unreadable, but his finger is steady. Asterisk go. Asterisk. Jimin hesitates, his face flushing a deep crimson. He's the CEO's son, but right now he feels like a schoolboy caught in a lie. He slowly walks to the desk, the headphones still thumping against his skull. Jungkook follows him, but he doesn't sit. He stands behind the chair, his hands resting heavily on Jimin's shoulders as Jimin pulls up the spreadsheets. Every time Jimin's focus wanders, every time he tries to look back at Jungkook or slip into a daydream, Jungkook's hand slides up to the back of his neck, a firm squeeze reminding him of his manager's presence. At one point, Yoongi knocks on the glass door, holding up a file and grinning. Jimin freezes, realizing Yoongi can see him sitting there, flushed and wearing headphones like a disciplined intern. He looks to Jungkook for help, but Jungkook just leans down, whispering into the microphone of the headset, so his voice vibrates directly into Jimin's ears. Don't look at him. Focus on the screen, Jimin. If you get even one digit wrong on this audit, we're staying until sunrise. And I promise you won't be sleeping. Jimin's fingers fly across the keyboard, his heart racing in time with the music. The cute playboy is gone, replaced by a boy who is desperately trying to please the man standing over him. He can feel Jungkook's eyes tracking his every move, the weight of his authority more suffocating than the silence of the night before. This isn't just about the work. It's about who owns the room when the CEO is away. And as Jungkook leans in to correct a cell on the spreadsheet, his chest brushing against Jimin's back, Jimin knows exactly who is in charge. Jungkook smirks, watching the way Jimin's pulse jumps in his neck. Good boy, he whispers into the mic. Keep going. We've only just started day one. The sun begins to dip below the Seoul skyline, casting long, amber shadows across the office. But the music in Jimin's ears is still pounding. His eyes are burning from staring at the blue light of the monitor, and his lower back aches from sitting perfectly straight under Jungkook's watchful gaze. The heavy office door swings open without a knock. Yoongi strolls back in, now wearing a leather jacket and swinging his car keys around his finger. All right, the audit is done. I'm officially off the clock, Yoongi announces, leaning against the doorframe.